Have you ever witnessed a moment so small it could be overlooked by everyone, yet it carried the weight of a lifetime? She stepped into the crowded briefing room with nothing more than a paper cup trembling in her hands. To most of the officers hunched over maps and mission reports, she was invisible, just another nameless young woman serving coffee to men who held the world on their shoulders. But then, it happened. One pilot, his eyes buried in a folder, suddenly froze. His gaze wasn't drawn to her face, but to something else stitched quietly onto her sleeve. A patch. Small, worn, and out of regulation. Now pause for a second, because before I tell you what followed, I want to know, where are you watching from? Drop it in the comments. I love seeing how far these stories travel. That patch wasn't fabric. It wasn't decoration. It was memory, it was blood, it was sacrifice. And the moment the pilot saw it, the air in the room shifted. Silence crept in, as if everyone suddenly sensed a secret hanging in the air. Her pulse quickened. Should she cover it? Pretend it was nothing? But how could she? That patch was the last piece of her brother she still carried, the brother who never came home. She had sewn it there late at night, telling herself it was only for comfort, never imagining anyone would notice. But now, under the sharp gaze of a man who had seen far too much sky and fire, it was no longer hidden. The pilot's jaw tightened. He cleared his throat, steadying a voice that carried more weight than he wanted to reveal. "Where did you get that?" Her hands shook as she placed the tray down. "It belonged to my brother. He wore it on his last deployment." The room stilled. No one shuffled papers. No pens scratched. A low murmur rippled, curiosity shifting into something far heavier. Because that symbol, the one on her sleeve, was no ordinary mark. It belonged to a select brotherhood, a call sign whispered only among those who had flown the most impossible missions. Her brother wasn't just another name lost in the fog of war. He was part of something greater. And the pilot knew. Because he had been there. He had seen the fire, heard the static on the comms, felt the sickening weight of loss as her brother disappeared into the smoke. He had believed he was gone forever. And yet here stood his sister, carrying proof of that sacrifice like a living flame. His throat tightened as he forced the words out. "Your brother didn't just fight. He shielded us all. I'm alive because of him." Her knees nearly buckled, the coffee cup slipping as tears blurred her vision. 4 years, all she had were empty words, missing in action. But in a single sentence, the truth rose from the ashes. Her brother hadn't simply vanished. He had chosen to stay, to protect. One by one, the officers in the room rose quietly to their feet. No applause. No grand speeches. Just the sound of respect filling the silence like a tide. And in that moment, the crushing weight inside her chest eased. Her brother's memory wasn't lost. It lived on in the men around her, in the pilot before her, in the very patch stitched to her sleeve. Because courage doesn't die. It echoes. It lives in every heart it once shielded, and it always finds its way back, often when we least expect it. She entered the room as just a girl carrying coffee. She left as the sister of a hero. Her silence replaced by pride. And remember this, kindness, courage, sacrifice, they never vanish. They wait quietly, and one day, they return to remind us who we are. That patch wasn't just fabric. It was a story. And stories, when finally spoken, can change the weight of an entire room. If this story touched you, share your thoughts below, and subscribe for more powerful stories of courage, sacrifice, and justice. Your voice keeps these memories alive.